You mentioned something a few minutes ago about debt and the dangers of debt. Is debt ever legitimate? How do you, as a Christian, see that?
I think debt can be legitimate, but I think the number of cases in which it is legitimate, we greatly overestimate. Scripture warns us, Proverbs 22, the borrower is servant to the lender. And when Jesus says no man can serve two masters, think about that. A lot of people get into bondage through debt. Debt is spending money you don't have. Okay? Normally, doesn't it make more sense to wait until God provides it and then to spend it if this indeed is a legitimate thing? So often we're lured into debt. I think going into debt to buy a house at a reasonable rate of interest with reasonable monthly payments can be a wise decision. But there's many people who buy way over their heads, and then, the people used to say 10 years ago, the value of a house is always going to go up, right? Wrong. And many, many people have been foreclosed and have had to, and the debt has really messed up their lives. And this is where I think we need to ask God, what do you want me to do? And Lord, if you want me to do a certain thing and own a certain thing, I'm asking you to provide for that, and we're going to set aside and save for it. I think for most of our expenditures, don't go into debt. Credit card debt, just the dangerous, the interest rates that you're paying, and the fact that people can get credit and go into, you see these people that have, 420 credit cards and have gone into $27 million of debt. We shouldn't even, it's just crazy that we're in a culture where that happens. It's just weird, but it's not in anyone's best interest. Who comes out ahead with that kind of debt? So I think this is something we got to teach young people. There are so many young people who are thinking, I grew up in a nice house. I want a house at least as nice as that. And then they're in their 20s and they're going into huge amounts of debt, and that debt will require that both of them continue to have an income. I talked with a couple in our church years ago who, to make their house payments, both of them had to continue working. They're a married couple. What happens to married couples? Often the woman gets pregnant, and this couple in our church came this close to getting an abortion. Why? Because they had bought this house so they would have a nice house for their family to raise their children in, and in order to keep making the house payments, keeping her at work, they came this close to killing a member of the family they had bought the nice house for. This is Satan at work, and he traps people.